Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mansamusa here. So, in case you haven't been living under a fucking rock, you probably know that there's this whole drama with Jimmy Dore and TyT, as always. And when I say TyT, I mean cenk Uruguay on the left there, and Anna Kasparian on the right. So, here's what this drama basically is. So TyT on their, I think this was on their premium membership. They probably thought nobody was gonna see this, dumbasses, because it was on the premium. But everybody's talking about it. A lot of people are talking about it. So, they basically they smeared journalist Aaron Mate. Here's the clip.
They said Aaron Mate yelled at me.
Aaron Mate lighting. Aaron Mate. Everyone cares what Aaron Mate has to say, right? The guy who denies that Syrian children were killed with chemical attacks. Yeah.
And
fuck
gets
Aaron
paid by
Mate.
the...
Yeah, fuck you.
Gets
Aaron
paid by
Mate.
the...
Yeah, fuck you.
Gets paid by the...
Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, let's move on. Let's end the freaking pod. I can't.
Okay, see, that's what happened.
I can't stand that guy, and I can't stand the very intentional disinformation they put out there in regard to disgusting dictators around the world. The very people they seem to be working for, to be quite honest with you. Let's move on.
Right, we're done.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
So, yep, that was the clip. Oh, and you see on the right over here, David Horowitz, The Ben Shapiro Show, Sunday special. It probably already passed. Communist turned conservative. Now, I don't know who the fuck is David Horowitz. First of all, who said just because you're a communist, you're not conservative? Like, what? I'm not a commie or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure commies, back then, all of the commie governments you see today are pretty conservative. Like, definitely right-leaning. You know what? Maybe I might be wrong about that. You know, I'm not perfect. I can be wrong on some things. Maybe, who knows? But, back to this. So, this is TyT response to Jimmy Dore. And they are responding to basically all of these videos Jimmy's been making about them. And of course, I will have endless receipts and links in the description below. But yeah, I'm just reacting to this. You see here, it started airing about... Damn, I don't think you can see. Let me turn this around. It started airing July 15th about... Hold on, let me see. TyT. Yeah, 1 hour ago. It was 22 minutes ago for a sec. But yeah, shit, I really wanted to do it as early as possible. It's already got 2.2k likes, and I promise you, it is going to have a shit ton of dislikes soon from Jimmy's angry fans. So, yeah, get ready for that. But yeah, let's begin.
Unfortunately, Jimmy Dore used to work here. It's a decision I deeply regret. We try to expand the spectrum of what is acceptable thought. And so corporate media has it easy. They just have to ask, do you believe in the status quo? And people answer that not explicitly, but implicitly through their answers, and then they get hired that way. We hire a wider range of folks, and sometimes it goes wrong. And Jimmy's one of those examples. So, I found out recently about an incident that happened while he was working here. And now the person that's talking about it is Jimmy. So he's been attacking us online over and over again with nothing.
Oh, I've seen.
Some of which I'm going to show you right now.
I have seen.
But we still held back. And of course it's frustrating.
You held back because you were wrong.
Or at least I thought he was. To me and to a lot of people here, and
yo, I want to see them debate so fucking bad.
By not the disagreements. Who cares? We had disagreements when he was here. That's not an issue at all.
Vaush is gonna annihilate.
By honestly the lies and the smears and the attacks that were deeply personal in nature. So both Anna and I got frustrated, and at one point she sent him a DM that Jimmy's going to talk about.
Just look at the way he says DM, his old ass.
And it was basically saying, look, we know all these things about you that we haven't shared before, in a way of saying, we are holding back while you're going nuts.
Yeah.
Right? And so, do you have no humanity or decency? And then you're about to find out the answer to that, because this is what he said on air. But before we get to that,
yeah. So I want to be clear about something. So the
fuck
DM
Aaron
that I sent
Mate.
him,
Fuck you.
Specifically called him out on his constant sexual harassment of me at this place at TyT. I also want to be clear that I didn't talk about it with anyone. I never talked about it with Jake until very recently.
What'd you just say?
I want to be clear about something. So the DM that I sent him specifically called him out on his constant sexual harassment of me at this.
Who's sexual harassment? Yo.
Decency. And then you're about to find out the answer to that, because this is what he said on air. But before we get to that,
yeah. So I want to.
Yo. Please tell me this isn't what I think it is.
Do you have no humanity or decency? And then you're about to find out the answer to that, because this is what he said on air. But before we get to that,
yeah. So I want to be clear about something. So the DM that I sent him specifically called him out on his constant sexual harassment of me at this place at TyT. I also want to be clear that I didn't talk about it with anyone. I never talked about it with Jake until very recently, because for obvious reasons. And so I sent him that DM because the harassment has continued. It's not sexual harassment. It's been constant harassment online that wouldn't go away. Doesn't matter if I ignore him, which some of my friends, my leftist friends, have told me, just ignore him, it'll go away. Just ignore him, ignore him. Kept going and going and going, directing trolls at me nonstop. And finally I couldn't take it anymore. So I sent him that message saying, you remember what you did to me.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that he positions himself as this moral fighter for progressive values when he and I both know the kind of behavior he engaged in when he was working here. So I wanted to give you that context.
So,
Yo.
So by the way,
whoa. Yo. So the reason I wasn't talking was because my mouth is just wide open. Like, what? My goodness. Well, shit. No, I don't even think I should be laughing. I don't even know what to do right now. Like, is she talking about Jimmy? Like, she's talking about Jimmy? Goodness gracious.
Tell me. Because I would have fired him. And no good deed goes unpunished. So she didn't tell me. He kept working here. And next thing you know, he's about to tell you a story of what happened. Now, ironically, there's lies in here too. But let us show you who Jimmy Dore actually is. Here, let's begin.
But here's how she's trying to threaten me. And I'll tell you why this is a big mistake on her part. She says, I'm sure you remember when you constantly made inappropriate comments about how sexy you found me at work, and even felt the need to ask me where I shop for my jeans so you can buy a pair for your wife so she dresses better.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Like, Jimmy, he's just making this even more ridiculous. First of all, I'm subscribed to Jimmy Dore. Like, you know, I can tolerate his conservative audience because they're always like, hey, Jimmy, I'm a conservative. I don't agree with you, but, you know, I really respect you, stuff like that. Like, they're always like that, okay? And it's kind of adorable, so I'll tolerate them. But, yeah. Plus, it's good to get out of an echo chamber every now and then. Like, in fact, his audience is pretty divided. There are some leftists there. I see people subscribe to secular talk and shit like that. So what else? Kim Iverson? Yeah, like Kim Iverson, her base is pretty divided. No, it actually is. Like, I'm not even sure that Jimmy's base is divided, but Kim Iverson is definitely divided. I remember she did that video on Candace Owens running for mayor. Well, not mayor. I mean, running for president. Primaries or whatever. So there were many of them saying, oh my gosh, yes, she should run. The country needs it. And then there were some of them calling her a grifter, like saying Candace is a grifter, all of this type of shit. Like one of them said, Kim, you must not know who Candace Owens is. And I was so relieved. Like, my goodness. See, that's proof that this base is divided between leftists and righties. Yeah, but so I guess Kim Iverson is our watering hole. Like, and what I mean by that is, y'all ever seen the movie, not Mowgli, The Jungle Book? I'm talking about the live action Disney one. So the watering hole in the Jungle Book was a place where all the animals, predator, prey, I guess that's a Zootopia reference, Disney, would gather, and the predators would not kill or hunt the prey because, like a peace treaty, they would all drink the water. Like, it was basically a peace. So that's what I guess Kim Iverson is. She's our watering hole, a safe haven. Like, and don't get me wrong, we get into some pretty tense debates in Kim Iverson's channel. But what was I talking about? So yeah, I'm subscribed to Jimmy Dore, and I did not see this at all. I mean, I missed it. Listen, I don't watch every single fucking video. But now I know what that was about. Like, I only clicked... No, I think I did see this, but I saw the first few minutes of it. Like, I got a small-ass attention span, okay? Don't blame me. Like, everybody does, okay? Humans just have a small-ass attention span. That's just how it is. Oh, my bad. Yeah. So, I did not know what this was about. So, let's continue. He's reading this shit. Like, I don't even know what my stance on this is. I'm when it comes to stuff like this with sexual harassment, my first knee-jerk reaction is to believe the woman. Now, it's to believe the woman, but definitely look into the situation, because there's a chance she may be lying. So, when they say hashtag believe all women, I'm like, yes, believe the woman. By believer, I'm not saying, like, go straight to putting the man in jail, but definitely, like, somebody, like, send somebody to get him, like, and we figure this situation out. Like, these are some serious claims that we need to investigate. Like, but yeah, my goodness. Let's get back to this.
That was followed by an apology card you wrote me for the degrading harassment. I've been holding back, letting you run your mouth nonstop as if you're some sort of warrior for what's good in the world. That's going to change. So now she's saying I'm paid by the Russians or saying I'm working for Assad. She's now going to try to pretend I sexually harassed her when I was at the Young Turks.
Now, I give you that as a lead-in to what the story he's about to tell you, okay? So he claims and laughs about how Anna was pretending that he was sexually harassing her. Then we don't have to say anything else. Let Jimmy tell you what he thinks happened.
I'll tell you this story. The story about that was followed by an apology card you wrote me for degrading harassment. Anna Kasparian used to dress, when I worked there, unbelievably inappropriately for a newsroom. She looked like she was going to a rave.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it through this video. Like, she looked like she was going to a rave. My goodness. Hold on. Let's rewind that.
Anna Kasparian used to dress, when I worked there, unbelievably inappropriately for a newsroom. She looked like she was going to a rave. The skirt, one time she came into the
Okay, Jimmy, listen, I love you. Really, I do. Jimmy, he calls out the corrupt Democrats, Republicans from time to time. Like when Trump gassed all those protesters so he could get a photo op, Jimmy was out there caping for leftists. And you know what? Leftists did not give him no type of thank you. They are fucking cowards. They did not call that shit out. They called every single dumbass comment Trump made out, but they didn't call that shit out when he gassed people. Like, Trump looks at a baby the wrong way. Oh, Trump falls down the stairs. Just all of this bullshit, but not this. Not this shit being called out. And, like, were there? No, there were not. I did not see no type of leftist calling that shit out when Trump gassed BLM protesters. And I don't mean protesters like riot, like these people are rioters. Why are they calling them protesters? These were actual protesters. There was not an incident there by those people. And Jimmy called it out. And all the lefties who get triggered by him because he's always like going after the Democrats, they did not give him a single thank you. And guess what? When they were all spreading all that lie about George Floyd dying of a fentanyl overdose, Jimmy was out there caping for George Floyd. He was. So that's why Jimmy has a soft spot in my heart. Okay? Because, yeah. Somebody who defended George Floyd has millions of conservatives, has an incredibly conservative audience. Somebody who defended George Floyd. It's a miracle. So, yeah. What was I going to say? Jimmy, something about... Oh, right. Okay, so Jimmy, yes, I love you, Jimmy, but listen, this is where I had to go into feminism mode. Like, a woman, just because of the way she dresses, that does not mean she's an object or some way, okay? I don't know, like, yeah. Just because she dresses some type of way, that does not give you the go-ahead to, like, make those types of comments. But, let's get back.
Newsroom with a skirt so short. It wasn't a pencil skirt. It was like a fluffy one, too, but so short that she bent over in front of me, and I literally saw her ass and her thong. She's wearing a thong. I literally saw it. And, like, everybody saw it.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Hey, Anna, nice news skirt. And everybody laughed. Like, they laughed louder than I thought they would. And so it humiliated her. She got humiliated in the middle of the newsroom. And I did it. And I felt bad. At that time, we were friendly. And I was just busting her balls, right, for dressing like that in the newsroom. You're going to bend over and show me your ass? I think that's a little... I'm not offended, but I think that's a little risque. Imagine if I did that. I walked around showing my ass to everybody. So when I did that, so she got really mad. She got humiliated. Her face turned red. She tried to insult me back, and it just fell flat, and she looked, bad. And I felt bad for her. I didn't fight. I didn't want to make her feel that bad. I just wanted to make a little joke. And all I said was, hey, Anna, nice news skirt. And everybody in the newsroom, because everybody saw how inappropriate she dresses. She used to dress. And everybody saw it. And so that's why it got such a huge laugh, and she was so humiliated.
Commercial break. By the way, fuck this advertisement. I do not support this advertisement. Get the fuck off of my channel, advertisement. Capitalist pig.
asshole. What if I told you you could watch even more TV than you do now, but for less money? In fact, zero money. With Pluto TV, stream a yachtload of channels, even a 24/7 channel starring yours truly. We couldn't afford for our son to go to college because of all the streaming fees. Now, Timmy's gonna be a lawyer. You can watch Pluto TV anywhere. I watch it at work and at play. Head to your device's app store to get Pluto TV today because Pluto TV is free.
So he just tells a story like, I humiliated her then, and now I'm going to tell you a story of how funny it was that I tried to humiliate her. Now, since it's Jimmy, half the story's not true, of course. But assume it is. That's your big hero right there that does that to women, looks up their skirt and then laughs at them, and then pretends it's their fault that he's looking up their skirt. Now, parts of the story that aren't true. Of course Anna wasn't wearing a skirt that short. Of course nobody else saw. That pervert was trying to desperately look. That's why he made apparently several comments about her body before. And by the way, who was in the room? Anna was teaching at the time, and she had brought in her students, her college students here. No, they did not laugh out loud. Jimmy, in his own mind, thinks it's hilarious to be a pervert sexual harasser like that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I love that. It'll be such a funny joke as I try to humiliate their professor in front of them.
Yeah. So the reason why he wrote the apology card was because every time he had made inappropriate comments about me at work, I ignored it. You know, but as I was walking into the studio, because my students were supposed to watch the show, it was their final assignment, watch the show, and there was a written assignment related to the show. And as I was walking in with them, that was when he made the comment, and he didn't make a comment about a news skirt. He made a comment about how sexy my legs were in front of my students. And it was degrading, obviously, and I want my students to respect me and take me seriously. Seeing an older man that I work with talk about my body like that in front of my students was wrong. And so for the first time, I actually snapped at him and told him to never make a comment like that about me again. And so I think he realized, oh, I think I might have gone, I think now she might actually make a big deal about this, and that's why he wrote me that apology card to basically try to calm things down. But I mean, comments continued after that. That's who he was, and he was, you know, he pretends as if he's like a fighter for progressive values. I heard the way that he spoke to producers here. He is anything but the so-called leftist that he tries to present himself to be, and...
Okay, so, listen, okay. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to agree with Anna on that was kind of inappropriate. Jimmy was absolutely in the wrong for that. Who does that? Even if he just did it for a laugh, that was, apparently it was in front of her students. He should know, he should have been thoughtful not to embarrass her in front of her students. My goodness. But, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Anna. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of her. Just look at the way she smeared Aaron Mate. Fuck Aaron Mate. Fuck you. Yo, I showed my mom that clip. She made my mom clutch her pearls. My mom, and she's a sweet lady. She's a traditional lady. She doesn't believe ladies should curse at all. It is funny because she curses at her children like a fucking sailor. I was about to say sailor. And this is my mom, I mean. But yeah, she made my mother, the beast that is my mother, clutch her pearls. But, yeah, and my mom, she used to watch the Young Turks. This was early in the days. Like, I think she watched it 10 years ago. Like, when they were first prevalent. When they were, the first. But, yeah, so yeah, not a fan of Anna. Like, I'm not even a fan of the Young Turks. I mean, like, every now and then I'll check out some of their content because some of the stories are actually, like, they do own the conservatives. And you know what? I realize that's a bit irresponsible because the problem with the Young Turks is because it's that they're becoming like Fox News. Like, and this is a problem with the left. I mean, it's not really a problem, but this may be true. Maybe it's true that instead of focusing on the right wing's fails, I mean, don't get me wrong, we can laugh at it in secret, but we don't have to make whole videos dedicated to them. Like if only there was some sort of pool where, like, you could just hear the stories, but we didn't, like, make videos about them. Like that idiot patriot who, did y'all hear? So, my last video was the critical race theory debate at Gothics. And by the way, they had a debate, Sam and Aaron, they had a debate with, I forgot his name, Dan for whatever his name. He's on that channel, PSA Stitch. And I'll put a link in the description below. I was gonna put it for my, got my review of the Gothics debate. I don't know if I'm gonna make that video, but so yeah, don't get your hopes up on that video. And forgive me if it is a little late, that video, my review of the Gothics debate. We're gonna definitely be talking about it, some things like the after party, shit like that. But yeah, some patriot. This was in a school in, I think, I forgot. Waldo Nation. He made a video about this, but he barged in during a school board meeting. He was talking about critical race theory, how it shouldn't be taught in schools, like, the same rhetoric we've been hearing for these few weeks. And he had to be escorted out by security. And it turns out that critical race theory, the funniest thing is that critical race theory wasn't even being taught in the fucking school. Like, he made a fuss for nothing. And that's what I'm saying. This is most definitely, like, this contributes to what Aaron was saying about how this can also be a red scare. Like, it could be a boogeyman. And that does contribute to that, how they can create fear and panic off of this sort of thing. And so I'm not sure if I said this, but here my stance on CRT is it's an incredibly complicated subject that does not have one answer. It's complicated and controversial, ergo it should not be taught through K through 12 because, they're kids, their minds are still developing. But yeah, that's my stance on it. Does that mean it shouldn't be taught at all? No. Personally, I don't find any issues with it. Like, and what? Maybe if I dug into it a little bit deeper, my views will change. But let me tell you this: I'm a black libertarian, left-leaning libertarian, and I don't have a problem with white people. I love y'all. In fact, Oh, you know what? You already know my stance on that. I already always say this, but I don't hate white people. I don't think white people are evil or oppressors or they need to be less white like Coca-Cola said and shit like that. But yeah, that's just me. But like I said, I don't think CRT shouldn't stop being taught in schools. So, yeah. So those are stories where we can laugh at conservatives. A patriot barging into a school board meeting because he's scared CRT is being taught in school and it wasn't even being taught in the fucking school. So instead of focusing on those, can we focus? And this is what Jimmy Dore does. Jimmy Dore, he calls out the Democrats. He calls out the left. He called out that deranged bitch Nancy Pelosi when she said, "Thank you, George Floyd, for your sacrifice. Thank you." And I'm like, Who says some crazy shit like that? And granted, a lot of the left, they did not like when she said that. Like, because that was just insane. Like, the man did not ask to sacrifice his life. Like, what? Like, if he was arrested, if he lived to see his trial, shit. And for those of you idiots who believe he died of a fentanyl overdose, who knows? Maybe if he did, which he didn't, he did not, okay? Like, if somebody has your knee on their neck for 8 minutes, it's not the drugs, it's you. It's the person with on the knee on your neck for 8 minutes. But let's say he died of a fentanyl overdose away from that man's knee out of his neck, we would not have heard of that story, okay? Or if he was just arrested and brought to jail, we wouldn't have heard that story. The teen, Darnell Frazier, I think her name is. She got a Pulitzer Prize for recording that whole incident. She would probably just show that to a couple of friends. It may have, or just deleted it. Maybe she would have deleted it from her phone. Maybe she would have shown it to a few friends, posted it online, but I guarantee you it wouldn't have gotten that many views. Like, just some nigga getting arrested. But, so yeah, he called out Nancy Pelosi when I'm talking about Jimmy. He called out Nancy Pelosi when she said the deranged shit. Thank you for sacrificing your life and all that. He calls out the left all the time. And my thing is, it is criticism. Like, you need to take constructive criticism. The left. If we want to be better than the right wing, they're always the ones making videos about us. Like, they're always the ones who want to own us. You saw in that Gothics debate, Carlin, you know what? I'll talk about this in my next video, but Carlin was being a debate bro. And it's funny because in the after party, she was like, oh, but they're bragging about a victory. They wanted to take a victory lap. Like, they were being, and some people in her idiotic fan base were saying that they were being rude, and Carlin was the one being rude. Carlin was being a debate bro. She was yelling like, she's the one that wanted to own them. Like, they want to own us. That's it. And this is with Ben Shapiro. You see all those videos of him owning feminists? Like, he's definitely contributed to the liberals versus logic culture. Let me show you something. So watch this. Ooh, I better hurry up. It's at 9%. Liberals. Damn, I didn't even have to type the whole thing. Liberals getting owned. Liberals getting owned 2020. Liberals versus logic compilation. Liberals want... to be even sexier for... What the fuck? To want spiders to be even sexier for sexier Fox News? What the fuck? Liberals versus conservative ASAP. Liberals bargain compilation. Liberals react to 2016 election results. Liberals getting owned Thug Life. Liberals getting owned 2021. Liberals crying in 2016. Liberals say the darndest things. Like, you see this? Liberals versus... liberals getting mad. Liberals getting trolled. Liberals getting owned by Ben Shapiro. You see what I'm saying? Liberals getting owned by facts. Liberals getting owned by logic. Liberals getting wrecked. Liberals getting owned too. Liberals getting angry. I'm not saying this in order, by the way, but yeah. Or hold on. Leftist versus what the fuck is leftist unity? Oh my gosh, that's from J-Reg bitch ass. Just kidding. I don't have a problem with J-Reg, but still not a fan. Leftist versus logic. You see, it is they perpetuated that owning culture, and you know what? Like, all this TD, like, even we've been perpetuating a sort of culture like this as well, and that's what we need to stop. We need to be better. Like, we say Trump supporters say the darndest things. Shit like that. Like, you saw liberals say the darndest things. But yeah, like, you got, what's his name? No BS. Does he even make content anymore? We got, what's his name? Geeks and Gamers. Like, all this types of thing. Geeks and Gamers, embarrasses CNN, Diversity Chief. Like, just all this stuff. Like, vile SJW targets and attack woman for supporting Gina Carano. Y'all need to leave Gina Carano. Like, first of all, Disney, they're going to hire her back. And I hope they do. Because that whole thing caused more damage to the left than you know. Who knows? Maybe a future video about that coming up. But, so, yeah, you got Geeks and Gamers, No BS, Josiah, what's his name? Josiah, I forgot his name. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Remember that? Alyssa Milano, she got, apparently she got wrecked by a black conservative woman. Yeah. You should see that video. Alyssa Milano is the first stop buying gun. Oh, that's a Colin Noir. Where is it? Come on, I gotta get back to reacting to this video. It's a really long fucking video. Oh yeah, Josiah Rises.
Alyssa Milano gets destroyed once again in this incredible clip that we are going to be watching here. Of course, Alyssa Milano is one of Hollywood's biggest idiots, but in this clip here...
yeah, stuff like that. They're always talking about the left's shortcomings.
Tries to present himself to be, and his audience...
So, what I like about Jimmy Dore is at least instead of focusing on right-wing shortcomings, he focuses on the left's shortcomings to our face. Like, we need to be better. We need to be better. So, and we have to absorb all that criticism. Like, you have to get triggered to get untriggered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can improve, okay? And that's why I appreciate Vaush. He always criticizes the left. You know, he had that series, My Problems with the Left. And I absolutely agree. All of those problems are, and there are even more that I would add to that list. Like, we need to fix it if we want to continue to dominate and win this culture war. And we got to play by the rules. So, yeah. And, that Alyssa Milano got wrecked. I mean, yeah, I guess she sort of got wrecked. I don't agree with any of those arguments. The black woman in that video, she was saying shit like, I'm more likely to get killed by own than somebody else, and I'm by my neighbor than somebody else. Which, listen, I know the whole statistic saying that blacks kill blacks more, but my thing is, aren't races more likely to kill their own races? Like, races kill each other all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a problem in the black community, and we can talk about Black Lives Matter. You know what? I'm just rambling. See that video on your own. I might put a link into it, but don't get your hopes up. Let's get back to this, because this is a long video.
I heard the way that he spoke to producers here. He is anything but the so-called leftist that he tries to present himself to be, and his audience reflects that. His audience reflects that in the way that they responded to that video. Because anyone on the left, anyone who wants to fight for decency, to ensure that everyone lives a life of decency, wouldn't watch that video and think, oh no, that's my guy. That's who I want to side with. That's who I want to fight with. Because everything that Jimmy does on a daily basis, his entire intention is to be indecent and to be incredibly cruel to others, regardless of how much he agrees with them, regardless of how little disagreement he has politically speaking with these individuals. It's literally his bread and butter. This is how he makes his money.
Yeah, look, this is not about canceling anyone in two ways. One, he didn't say that 20 years ago. He said that this weekend. So he's proud of it. And he took that as an example of, can you believe what Anna did wrong? I'll I'll tell you that story in a bragging way and laugh about how funny I am and what I did to her in front of her students and in front of the whole studio. And aren't I so wonderful, etc. And if you...
I mean, like, that's terrible. I don't agree with Jimmy on that. Like, even the way Jimmy made it sound, if I didn't learn prior context of the situation from Anna's point of view, like, I would think that's a pretty funny thing. But, yeah, I believe Anna. Terrible. But, now, I believe Anna, but this has nothing to do with, like, her smearing Aaron Mate, okay? So, she doesn't get to, like, talk about this instance, so she can demonize Dower. Like, she still did wrong, too. Okay? You all both did wrong, but you, Anna, you did wrong now. Okay? You did wrong now. He did wrong a long time ago. And, frankly, I hope you forgave him. But, let me get back to this.
Way to go, Jimmy. I think you're a terrible person, but have at it. Then watch him. Don't watch us. I don't want you watching us if you thought that was a great story that should be celebrated.
No, and that's the main point. So I want to be clear about something. I love our members, but I want to be clear about who we are and the kind of audience we want to foster. Because this isn't just about building an audience, it's about building a movement. And working with people, because we work with our audience all the time in pressure campaigns in regard to like Congress and ensuring that we get a vote on a $15 an hour minimum wage. We want fighters beside us, and we want people who have the right ethics and morals to do this with us, right? If you watch that and you think there wasn't a big deal, I think that was totally fine. If there are any remnants of Jimmy Dore's fans within our membership, within our audience, and you see this and you think like, oh, I'm disappointed in you, Anna, I want to let you know, I don't want you in our audience. You are not part of what we're trying to do, okay? So spare me the tweets about how disappointed you are and how you're canceling membership. I do not care. I don't care. I encourage it because I don't want that toxicity. I don't want that culture as part of anything we do at TyT, whether it's internal in the office or external with our audience, period. That's it.
Yeah. Now, guys, a lot of you didn't see that. That's why we're showing it to you. We did a couple stories today about Syria, etc., because a lot of you didn't see it. So it's okay if you didn't see it and now you do, right? But what we're saying is, if you see that and you think that's great, sexually harassing women at work and making fun of their clothes and telling everybody that you know what you're looking at underneath their clothes and stuff. If you think that's great, that's why we're telling you that if you're associated with us, I'm worried you're going to cause more problems, right? So if Jimmy wants all those toxic folks who are right, generally speaking, most of them are right wing, but I know that he's tricked some left wingers into thinking he's a leftist. If you think that's leftist, have at it. Okay, that's all we're saying. It's that simple. We love our audience.
Okay, so listen, leftist, the country has moved. Like the left has moved a little bit too far left, and I don't mean far left when right wingers say far left, because when right wingers say far left, it's a slippery slope on how to control those like classical liberals, okay, the real ones, not the Dave Rubin classical liberals. When he means when conservatives mean the far left, we know what they mean, okay. But when I say far left, I'm talking about all of you weirdos out there, like Coca-Cola, like the fake woke far left, like the CIA, like that CIA ad. Think of those cringy leftists that I know does not represent the whole left. Like those, you know what I mean, the cringe left. But fuck, what was I gonna say? Right. So the waters have been muddied, and people don't understand that a lot of the people, well, the cringe left, the Twitter left, I mean, you know, the people calling Bill Burr, who is a liberal, a white supremacist because of the joke he made at the Oscars. I made a whole video on that. And his wife is black, but and they do throw around the word white supremacist. They don't see that a lot of people are actually liberal, like. And I'll send you a link to that long ass debate with Sam and Aaron, and they were debating. Oh, actual Justice Warrior was in that debate. Ayadin Paladin was in that debate, and Ayadin Paladin, she mentioned something about how they're all technically liberals except for Adam. Adam, he said he's a traditionalist, and I'm not gonna ruin the rest of that joke. I don't know about Stitch. Is Stitch a liberal? Actual Justice Warrior, he said he identifies as a libertarian. Also not going to ruin his joke. See it for yourself. You might have to skip ahead. This is after Sam leaves. God, they talked for so fucking long. But yeah, Ayadin said that she was like, hey, technically we're all liberals, right? Like, we all believe that as long as you are not hurting anybody else, you can do whatever you want. And, like, that is what liberalism was always to me. Like, you do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Conservatism is not that. I mean, I guess conservatives have become libertarians now. Anyway, but I'm libertarian left. So, yeah. Many people who we assume are liberals. They are.
I think you guys are incredibly smart and care so much and have already made a giant difference in the world. All right, look, I'm going to give you more if you weren't already convinced. He had Max Blumenthal from Grey Zone on with him. He tells that story, then turns to Max. Let's notice Max's reaction and then Jimmy's reaction, thinking, oh, this story might not have killed in the way that I thought it did. Watch.
So you kind of screwed the pooch there. But good luck. Good luck. I'm sure you'll get some libs to retweet it for you. But it will have... I don't have a manager. And I don't have a human resource department. So let's bring in Max. Now, Max, where would you like to take the conversation?
Yeah, this isn't really where I thought the conversation was going to go. I don't have the same history with these people, so... I have no problem with Anna Kasparian's style of dress.
Let's talk to them.
We don't have a dress code at the Grey Zone. People can show up however they want. I do have a problem with this campaign of McCarthyite lies. And honestly, I'm even hesitant to get in the gutter with these people.
Here we have this
fucking commercial
pyramidal structure, and the witnesses, they can't believe their eyes. It's absolutely shocking. We have
oh yeah, I'm subscribed to the Grey Zone.
Recorded from 4
Aaron Mate.
These people don't know each other.
We have preliminary results. It appears to have some anomalies that are very interesting.
Suggesting that the father was not Homo sapien.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that. Is that the fucking
You can
Pope?
tell he was uncomfortable because what Jimmy had said was so awful. But understand that at the end, Max Blumenthal was talking about us being in the gutter. That we're in the gutter, and that Jimmy is the one trying to clean us up and get into and engage in a rational conversation with us. And the one thing that is enormously true is no, Jimmy does not have an HR department. That is for sure. Now, this is not the only instance of these guys, again, pretending to be on the left, going after our appearances. So Roger Waters was on. They're so ecstatic. They're like, oh my God, a random Pink Floyd guy from like 80 years ago. He's got to be the chemical weapons expert in Syria, and he's got to be the progressive policy expert that we all dream about. He's on with Katie Halper and others. But instead of talking about that, first he called me fat. Oh my God, you broke news there. Nobody saw that coming. I've never gotten that except for the 10 million times I've gotten it. Guess why? Because I actually am overweight. This is not a gotcha. Talk about my appearance. Who cares?
That's why they call him the Big Buffalo.
He couldn't help himself, So Roger Waters says this as everybody else nods along. Yeah, let's do more sexism.
Listen to that. Garbage and disgusting and foul-mouthed, I have to say.
Are they calling out Caddy Helper too?
I hesitate to call her a young lady because she's not.
First of all, is that Pink Floyd from My Chemical Romance?
She's not in the prime of youth, says Roger Waters. Another comment about her appearance, and the so-called left laughs along. Let's make fun of people's appearances and look up their skirt, and that's the way to be progressive. I think you might have missed what it means to be a progressive. Now, we've covered that amply, unfortunately. Now I want to talk about his lies real quick. In that same segment Jimmy had with Max Blumenthal, Jimmy made up my position on Syria. Out of whole cloth, every part of this is a lie. Let's watch.
They were pro-bombing Syria in 2014, 17. Cenk said Trump didn't bomb Syria enough. So he's all for bombing brown people.
Huh.
I'm all for bombing brown people. I'm from the Middle East.
I'm just sipping this tea.
It's a talking point that he has that he uses against others. So, and he doesn't have plan B. So he's like, Cenk is against bombing brown, or in favor of bombing brown people. I don't know, said the Jimmy, who is apparently the expert on brown people. But
what?
That's actually less important.
You got to be an expert on brown people?
We were
that, you see, that gets into critical race theory. Like,
ever.
What?
And by the way, saying that a chemical weapons attack happened, and we did an hour-long segment on it earlier today, and you could watch it for yourself and you could make your own independent judgment, doesn't mean you want to bomb Syria. In fact, we went out of our ways to say every single time, we are not for American imperialism, we are not for bombing Syria, we are not for attacking Syria. But it doesn't matter what we say, because Jimmy's going to lie anyway. What difference is your actual position when he's just going to make it up? And I said that Trump didn't bomb Syria enough. Show me the video.
Well, it's funny because someone
he might be able to do that. Don't dare him.
Your old tweets where Madeleine Albright had said that she wished that Obama had followed through on his red line in regard to the Syrian regime using chemical weapons. Remember, he had said that his red line is, if they use chemical weapons, we will retaliate. The United States will retaliate against Bashar al-Assad's regime. And then he didn't follow through on it, and Madeleine Albright was criticizing him for it. Your response to Madeleine Albright, and this is in a screenshotted tweet, you can check it on my Twitter account, was, why does she want to bomb? What happened to diplomacy? Yeah. Why can't we do this through diplomacy?
Exactly. So you can't find me saying we should bomb Syria or that Trump didn't bomb Syria enough, because it's an unmitigated lie. And that's why, buyer beware. You know, just because somebody's saying something doesn't mean it's true. You have to look at and investigate a little bit to see.
It's really funny TyT saying all that shit. Just because somebody says something, that doesn't mean it isn't true. When they say a lot of shit that's untrue. Like, and that's the problem. Another problem I have with TyT is that they can lie. Okay? They can lie. Like, when I first saw TyT, I thought, oh, you guys are different from CNN. Like, at least y'all tell the truth. And what's funny, they did call out the riots. That happened last summer. They did call out whatever black person committed a crime against Asians. They did defend Gina Carano. Nobody gave them credit for that, though. Didn't expect them to. But yeah, look, I probably am different from Jimmy. He could probably never say anything about TyT, anything good about TyT, but I mean, I have one or two good things to say about them. I have one or two good things to say about everyone. But yeah, but they lie a lot. And we can't lie if we're going to win. Like, the thing you'll notice with me is that I try my best to give you the full picture, okay? I give you the full picture, and then I make my arguments based on that full picture. Like, I do. But back to this.
Facts are. Speaking of liars, Max Blumenthal then jumped in at the end of the interview with another lie. And get a load of this whopper.
I remember Cenk, when Trump happened, Cenk said, the CIA is good now. They're our friends. Yes. We need to drop our opposition to the CIA.
I don't want to sound like Tim Pool, but this is like this is a leftist civil war. And the Vanguard, they call it a leftist civil war. Like, and another problem with the left is the leftist infighting. Like, how are we supposed to... There's already infighting in this country. People are already so politically divided. But leftists are just so special and stupid that we're even more politically divided within the party. And there's so much leftist infighting. Like the other day I was watching Circus react to, and if you go to that, Circus reacts to Escaping the Code of Wokeness by TyT. Yeah, he was reacting to that video by TyT. And I made a comment there saying, well, sort of defending Kim. Well, even though I may not disagree with her, I said that if the left wants to continue to thrive, we have to make woke more presentable. And what's wrong with that? Like, and God, I could make a whole video about that one day too. But that's my comment. I said, in order for the left to thrive and continue to win this culture war, we have to make the left woke more presentable, and so that way people aren't repulsed by it. So that way the right aren't repulsed by it. Like, it could be something people love. And I named examples of these. And do you know how many leftists disagree with me? Like, I wouldn't say they mobbed me, but like, you hear people on the right complain about like Twitter mob and shit like that. Like, they didn't call me a white supremacist, but they just disagreed. Like, they said, like, you know, if you see, you'll see. But yeah, there's so much leftist infighting. Like, clearly not all of us agree on the same things. Clearly. Like, even Vaush, I respect him. He is definitely what the left needs. But I don't agree with everything Vaush says. I don't. And I don't have to. And another thing you young leftists need to learn is that you can disagree with someone on something, okay? You can. But back to this. Oh, ooh, damn.
No, he said that.
I remember distinctly him saying that.
I bet. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Why do they call you funny bone?
No.
Funny.
Fuck this.
You want other drivers?
It's funny that they lie, and then their lies are so outrageous. The other one's like, really? And their stories are so ridiculous. The other one's like, right? Did I say the CIA are our friends now, and we shouldn't criticize them now that Trump is in office? Of course not. Of course, that's insane. That's insane. So when pressed on that outrageous lie, Max's fallback was, well, in one tweet, you refer to our intelligence agencies as our guys.
Who?
Ooh, is that any of the things that you said?
He nailed it.
Okay, that the CIA are good guys now. We should just trust them.
Yo, where's Hassan?
No, don't say that at the Young Turks. Max Blumenthal is an outrageous liar, and that is a tip of the iceberg of his tremendous lies at Gray Zone. Those are different topics. We've covered some of them. But guys, buyer beware on all of these people pretending to be on the left and then meanwhile helping authoritarian governments do their propaganda. Mysteriously, oh no, Trump, I just can't find a way to criticize him. Republicans, who are a lot of my Patreon supporters, I can't find a way to criticize the right wing. Hey, look at all these trolls that are on Twitter. They all seem to have nothing but right wing tweets. But oh golly gee, I think the only people that are guilty are progressives in Congress and progressives in the media. You guys should, all of you who are on the left, and by the way, there are real people who are on the left who follow Jimmy and follow Gray Zone. And again, you didn't know, that's okay. But if you watch all this and you say, oh no, I'm still on it, I still love these guys, even though there's obvious liars, well, that's up to you. That's your call to make, and you have at it, Hoss, okay? But now you know. Now, last thing. Jimmy, in an interview with Jordan Chariton, talked about how a mysterious executive here at TyT said something to him. This is also a lie, but there's something interesting in it if it were true. Let's watch.
I was told by an executive at TyT after they took that $20 million, Jimmy, we know we have to move to the center.
What?
Executive told him that at TyT that we have to move to the center. Of course that didn't happen. By the way, the guy he's referring to was a really good friend of his.
I mean, I don't think Jimmy would just lie.
Now, but that's not the issue. My question is this. Jimmy, you worked here for several years after we got that investment. And if you think an executive told you to move to the center and you kept working here, what principles do you have? So an executive at a media company that you work for, that you host shows at, told you to go center, and you listened to him and kept collecting paychecks year after year? That's your view of the story. That's your side of the story. You just heard it yourself. Now, I remember when the executives at MSNBC told me that I should take it easy on corporate Democrats. I turned down over $1 million because I actually have principles. Yep. If you believe Jimmy, even if you don't believe us, you just...
Okay, I don't believe you. You guys have definitely been way too soft on these corporate Democrats. Like, you have. And you know what? Like I said, I have one or two good things to say about you. Like, honestly, at most, they do the bare minimum of holding the corporate Democrats accountable. They do. The bare minimum. Like, they don't do it as much as Jimmy. They should, like... And I know I said that we shouldn't make videos on the right wing, but listen, we need that from time to time. Because, I mean, like, we don't have to quit doing that cold turkey, okay? But just less of that and more of videos of what's wrong with the left and what's wrong with the corporate Democrats. Like, can we do that? You can make those videos about, like, idiots who carve MAGA into manatees, or like whatever dumb shit they say or do, or anti-mask Karens, all these types of things. But can you also make videos about the dumb shit we do and say more? Can you make them more than that? Like, I promise you, the left will be better for it. And I know I said that the right, conservatives and the right, they don't hold themselves accountable, and they're always focused on culture war issues, you know, like odic leftists or the left's shortcomings. But some of them, they do. They do hold Republicans accountable. In fact, many of them think that Republicans are cowards. And that's what worries me, that maybe that's how they've been sort of secretly winning. They know how to call out their own. So, yeah, why don't we get with the program? Like, seriously. But, yeah, back to this.
Should take it easy on corporate Democrats. I turned down over $1 million because I actually have principles. Yep. If you believe Jimmy, even if you don't believe us, you just heard him say it, and you believe Jimmy, he just told you, oh, I'll take a check. I don't care what they tell me to do. I'll do anything for money. So that's who Jimmy Dore is. And most of all, it's just super sad. He's a sad, weak man. And he's chasing views and attention and money. Clout. And when he attacks us,
does he mean clout?
Popularity, both from the right wing and more views, because the algorithms say, hey, that's the biggest show. You mention them, you're going to get more views. Yep. So he feeds into it because he's weak. And he just wants it so bad. He wants to be famous and get that attention so bad that he's willing to do anything.
Listen, okay, I disagree. I don't think Jimmy is doing it to be famous, okay? He did more than you dickheads did in trying to force the votes, okay? A literal comedian did more than you motherfuckers to force the vote for Medicare for all. He held AOC accountable. In fact, he actually interviewed AOC. He was one of the people that interviewed AOC when she was a starter up. And I'll put that link in the description below. But Jimmy has done more for the left than you guys have. Like, I'll be generous, but it's true. My goodness. Like, he's not there chasing for clout. I'm not gonna say you guys are there chasing for clout either. Well, fuck, I don't know, with all the shit you guys pump out. Maybe you got, you know what, fuck it. Maybe you guys are chasing for clout. Man, look at his face. Okay.
Saw it with your own eyes.
And again, look, we're talking about this because I want more than anything to put this behind me, despite the fact that the attacks are going to continue. I know that. But I'm not interested in doing this show to talk about my drama. I'm interested in doing this show because I think what we do here is important. I want to get information to you guys. I want to collaborate with you guys.
Well, you got to get true information out, Anna. You got to get true. Like, maybe, like, that's the thing. I'm not just like, oh, TYT is trash. I mean, it is trash, but can you fix it? Like, there's always hope for improvement. Like, fix it. Don't lie. Tell the whole story. My goodness.
For me, that is the reason why I'm here. And I don't want to waste any more time with this nonsense regarding like, ooh, is it TYT or Jimmy? Oh, Anna, I'm disappointed in you. Again, we love our audience. We want to fight together. But if any of what you see with Jimmy Dore is appealing to you, we're just not on the same team. And you don't even have to bother contacting me to tell me how disappointed you are. Cancel your membership. Like, we're literally telling you that right now.
I know, but those are 90%
I know that it's like...
They're not actually members.
They're not actually members. I know it is.
And by the way, guys, how do I know? So the guy keeps lying about our numbers, too. And that's why I had to post our numbers. He's like, oh, they're failing. They're almost...
Okay, is he lying, or maybe he just... Listen, maybe he just didn't... Could he have just misconstrued the numbers? I wouldn't say he's lying, okay? We all misconstrue stats and data and statistics all the time.
Okay, but we got 14 million hours of viewing. I didn't want to say it, but now you're going to brag about it. But no, you said we were failing and we had no viewers. Okay, yeah. And then you say, oh, all your subscribers are leaving. But I see the subscriber numbers every day. No, they're not. Nobody's leaving.
I know.
We have more subscribers, not less subscribers. So if you hear something from Jimmy, it is incredibly likely to be a lie. And for his own ego and his own purposes. And last thing on this is,
yeah,
so for some of you watching this,
don't listen to mean old Jimmy. Listen to us. Fuck facts. Just listen and believe. Like, oh my gosh, I stole that from Tree of Logic, by the way. I did. I'm sorry. God, I gotta come up with my own quotes sometimes.
So distasteful, and you're right. And so, guys, don't get involved in it. But we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. We didn't get involved for month after month as he lied and lied and lied and lied. Right?
About what?
And then people said, well, I guess since you guys are not countering, it must be true.
Exactly.
Now that when we do counter, people say, oh, hey, why are you guys fighting? Well, when a guy punches you in the face, you have to defend yourself. And so that's what we're doing here. But after this, we're done with them. If you watch these videos and you're still a fan, that's why we're repeating it. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. But we're not going to talk about him if we can, unless he tells another insane story about how he sexually harassed us, another outrage. Like, I don't know. But we're going to try really hard not to talk about him because he doesn't just hurt us. He hurts the movement.
Yes.
And he hurts unity within progressives.
Yes.
And don't let him divide you. But if you think that's the right path, then have at it. We can't be any more fair than that. All right. Thank you for hearing us out on this. We appreciate it. We're out of time. It's been a hell of a day. Thank you for sticking with us. And for all the members, we love you so much. And you make this show possible. And thank you for having our back, even when others doubted us. So thank you. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those...
TYT crew. Let's take a quick look, and then I'm going to end this video real quick. Help us stop socialism. My goodness. Yeah, help us stop socialism. I bet these idiots, they're one of those idiots who believe universal basic income or welfare is socialism. Yeah. Oh, I guess this is what's happening with Biden thinks pandemic is over. Biden denies Social Security benefits. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll send you a link to that. I think that was the video. I only saw a bit of it.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyway, let's end the freaking podcast.
She said,
So
end the
there's a
freaking
few things
podcast.
as disgusting as that.
Alright,
That's just,
can we...
They gotten so
Is this
used
the
to
part where he
McCarthy's
reads it?
spirit. Just for that one. I mean, calling someone a hero. Genuine question. Because everybody saw how inappropriate
Oh, here it is.
She dresses. She used to dress.
Yeah, I'll put this in the link. But yeah. So, it's been fun. I reacted to the TyT thing before hell's about to break loose. That's pretty much it for this video. Bye.